Hello, everybody. It appears I've got this live thing figured out now. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this going forward. It's the American Doofus Show. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Don't be a doofus. Um, Maybe it's best that this is being live and nobody was expecting it because it was supposed to be a half an hour ago. I want to talk just briefly about the two episodes today. There was an episode this afternoon, and had a young man on, and we talked, and we mentioned that he was going to be joining the NFAC, and that video has been taken down. The intent of the video basically was just to show an old white guy and a young black man talking, and there wasn't any sensitive information shared, no locations, no times, no procedure or process. It was just basically, I wanted to know the motivation. I wanted to share with people the motivation of this young man, and it has been taken down, and it's been taken down at the request of Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC. And I want to talk to Grandmaster Jay for just a second. Please do not look harshly on the young man. Don't penalize him in any way. He wants to help his family, his community, and his people. And the NFAC is what he sees as the best way to do that. And none of this has ever been about what I think. This has always just been about saving lives, helping people, equality, justice, things like that we're supposed to care about as Americans, and then as human beings. And Grandmaster Jay, if you are hearing this, please do not don't penalize the young man. Young man's got a good heart. Young man's got a good mind, and I just don't want to see anything derogatory happen to the young man. And that is the reason the video was taken down. I didn't have any problems with it. There wasn't any acrimony. I was told through a third party that Grandmaster Jay asked me to take it down, and as soon as I found out he did, I took it down. I didn't have to. There wasn't, as I said, there wasn't anything in it. But, let's be real. Grandmaster Jay's had enough white people do shitty things to him without adding me to the list. So that's that. The second video, tonight's episode with Chris, there were parts that sent chills up and down my back. I've been talking all week about what could possibly happen at Louisville, and he kind of confirmed it. We started out the episode talking about assuming, because Chris's take has always been that Grandmaster Jay was an agent of the government, and so we started out with, okay, assuming that's true, because I wanted to know what the end game was. Why would he be doing this? And I still don't see that. So I'm still taking Grandmaster Jay at his word that he's trying to do something powerful for his people. And after the interview with Chris, I'm concerned that this might just all be an elaborate trap for the NFAC, and I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see anybody hurt, let alone killed. And it's just, man, we live in a crazy world, and you know, a year ago, I wouldn't have thought any of this would be necessary to talk about. Some people have popped in. Thank you. Yes, the NFAC will be in Kentucky, ready to lay down. I never said anything about NFAC being actors or anything like that. I said, assuming that what Chris was saying was true, that Jay must be an actor, and damn, if he's if he's acting, he's a damn good actor. I think I have absolutely no doubt he's incredibly intelligent, and I just feel like they may be laying a trap for him. And again, this is all live. I'm just talking off the top of my head. I don't have my notes. I don't have anything prepared. I really just wanted, after I found out that Grandmaster Jay wanted the video taken down, I really just wanted to get on here and explain that any blame comes to me, and not to the young man. And that was the main part of this. But I'm concerned. The young man in Kenosha that's a hero for shooting 3 people, killing 2 of them. One of the main episodes was who's going to be the next hero. And when Chris talked about, the possibility, well, the police just back out and let him go at it. It was horrifying for me to think about. So the other thing I want to do on this live is, again, call out to everybody, both sides, stand down. Just stand down. It's too volatile of a situation. There are too many different organizations, too many possibilities of lone wolves on both sides, instigating to put blame on the others. So we've got some people in here. I'm going to take some questions. Okay, John Rucker. If you think Wisconsin was something, it's obvious you don't know Kentuckians. We rolling deeper than you can imagine. No, I can't imagine. Dude, I'm in Indiana. I'm just, I'm 90, an hour, 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours away from Louisville. I came down to Louisville a lot. A little secret there, buddy. I like to gamble. All right. I played poker. I went to the horse track. I bet on football. I'm not anymore because, man, that's also frivolous with what's going on in the world. But yeah, I know Kentuckians, Shepherdsville, Owen County. I know how deep Kentuckians roll. And the thing is, though, it's not just Kentuckians. There are people coming in from literally all over the country when you consider all the groups that are going to be there. Media, traditional and non-traditional, the anarchists, the Antifa, the NFAC, the Angry Viking guys, the United Pharaohs Guard, who's already in Louisville. The other groups are primarily Louisville, but there's so many people that are going to be coming into the town for potentially nefarious needs, that it's nefarious means, that it's incredibly dangerous, incredibly scary. Perfect Game, what's up? Jay comes in the morning. I was born in Winchester, Indiana, in Randolph County, up there by Union City, where the dude's name escapes me now, but pretty famous rock and roll guitarist and songwriter from up in Union County. And I would have known his name any other time, but being on here live. Jimmy, I don't know what video you're referring to, but I wouldn't have taken it down. He is too all over the place. He pulls religion and everyone following like sheep. Religion always gets people. Jimmy, religion has been used to start wars, to overthrow countries. You're right. He has Grandmaster Jay has a different look at faith than I do personally, but I really don't think it's all about him doing this for a religious war. Now, Chris and I did talk about that. Rahowa, a religious holy war. That is the concept of the white evangelical Christians. Among one of the main leaders is the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence. Now, Donald Trump doesn't know how to hold a Bible, doesn't know Jesus. Mike Pence, people want to take Trump down. If you take Trump down, Pence steps in, and Pence could be even scarier, especially if this Rahowa is in process. And if it is in process, then and I think it might, especially after talking with Chris, that makes it even that much more dangerous for the NFAC. Not that they can't take care of themselves, not that they're not badasses on their own, but you're looking at the possibility that and if any of you are in the know in the comments, let me know. You're looking at the possibility that the LMPD, U.S. Marshals, National Guard, white militia, all come together, because the militia guy, the angry Viking, the last thing he said was, the police know we have their back and they have ours. There's a woman that leads a militia there in Kentucky, and I made a comment about that she had said they were there at the request of the police, and the police said no, that wasn't true. And I made a comment about it, and I had reached out to her to try to get her to come on the show. I've reached out to those of you that have watched this know that I've reached out to all different sides. Just trying to get information out there, not propaganda, not ass kissing, boot licking, just trying to be real and objective about everything. All eyes on Breonna Taylor, all eyes on Bree. That's another great point. We know why the NFAC is coming to Louisville. They're seeking justice for Breonna Taylor. Why are the other groups coming? Do they not want justice for Breonna Taylor? Or are they coming to start a shooting war? Is this all a big part of a plan that many of us aren't aware of? I don't know. It's frightening to think about. Louisville don't need Jay to get answers. Louisville have been protesting day and night while he's on Instagram. Louisville has been protesting day and night. There's a group down there called FIRM, which stands for Formation in Racial Matters. And two of the primary leaders are both named Chris. One is KRIS and one is CHRIS. And they have both been working really hard to keep things peaceful. And outside of the first two nights, I've been following it. I should be watching Riot Hart or Jason Downey or Maxwell Mitchell or whoever's streaming live right now to keep up with what's going on, because I've been following it since I saw Jason Downey the first time ride his bicycle between police officers and a bunch of protesters and take pictures. And since I first saw Maxwell Mitchell giving aid to people that had been tear gassed while live streaming the story. And some of these live streamers are heroes. Maxwell's one of them, taking care of people, stopping and being a human being. CJ from CJ TV putting a tourniquet on the guy's arm after his elbow had been blown off in Kenosha. And the night before, Mercado and CJ basically stopping a fire from going from a car lot onto a church ground and rescuing a flag. CJ did that too. You know, I sit in front of the American flag. I'm the American Doofus show. But I sit in front of the American flag because the flag has power. And I think it needs to be carried more by protesters. I understand the African American community wanting their own flag, not feeling like they're represented in America. I understand that, but the imagery of just a few protesters carrying that American flag and reminding everybody that it's American attacking American. It's not a game. It's not a video game. There's no reset button. If this shit kicks off, it's going to kick off for a long time. It's going to kick off. It's going to spread fast. My whole purpose is trying to stop it. It may be in vain, but man, it's what I feel is being placed upon me to do. Yeah, the U.S. Congressman threatened the law-abiding NFAC. That was a pretty good example of Southern racism, in my opinion. What that congressman tried to do. Speaking of Southern, I got to mention this, and I haven't. The senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul, after the Republican National Convention, while everybody was in Washington D.C. for the march and to hear Martin Luther King III and Al Sharpton and eventually Grandmaster Jay all speak, he got yelled at by a whole bunch of people. I don't know if you saw it or not. You might have. The mainstream media covered it pretty good. He got surrounded and a whole bunch of people yelled at him. And his wife said, that she'd have been dead if it hadn't been for the police. And that's bull crap. Nobody threatened him. They screamed at him. So I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the candy-ass senator from Kentucky named Rand Paul. Grow a pair, dude. You getting yelled at. Man, I've been married. I've been yelled at. Anyway, yeah, and I probably was closer to getting killed than either one of you by one of my ex-wives. No, just one of ex-wife. Anyway, thank you all for popping on here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, for liking the channel, for sharing the channel, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And tomorrow we're going to talk with a Louisville native, somebody that a Louisville resident, somebody that's not really involved in any group, but yet knows a lot about what's going on in Louisville. We're going to talk about his thoughts on people coming to town. We're going to talk about the street closures that the police have announced already, and will they have an impact, and are they meant to direct the two groups into a clash? I hope this isn't a setup, but man, I got the feeling that this is a setup, and if you are NFAC, put your head on a swivel, man. Am I going to be there? I don't know. I honestly thought I had an opportunity possibly to go behind the lines and document history with the NFAC. After this afternoon's video, that's probably not a chance. So, and I'm okay with that. Again, if Grandmaster Jay's not watching, if somebody happens to be watching and you know him, get this message to him. Take a crap on me online, whatever. but man, don't don't punish that young man. Um, he wants to be part of your group, and you need people that want to be part of your group. And I think he'd make you a good soldier, so to speak. Let me just put it that way. And I may be wrong, but let him prove that. Don't don't take it out on the fact that he wanted to be on my show, and I wanted him to be on my show. And again, um, I looked at that as really an older white guy and a younger black man having conversation. And I had a lot of white people tell me I've never heard just an average black person talking like that, just having conversation. The only time they see a young black man, he's being arrested or he's shooting a basketball or throwing a football. And that's a big part of our problem. Um, I mentioned in that video, 75% of the white population never has a conversation with anybody outside of the white population. That's sad. That's dangerous. That's divisive. That's ignorant in the times that we live in. Look down here and see if a couple more. Cities at this NFC support, where the hell were y'all in DC? Because it was on Fly with Jay. And this, okay. Actually, I've had that question before. Nachicha, I hope I pronounced that right. Why were there only a dozen NFAC at the rally in Washington? Number one, carrying guns is not smiled upon in Washington. Number two, there was already a whole lot of people there. They're not going to make a major statement by showing up in force. All that would have done was detract from what the other black empowerment movements were trying to do, and I don't think that was just. And I'm not speaking for him. Never have. I can't. I've never talked to the guy. I know he's seen a couple of my videos. I know he's used a couple of my videos where I just spoke about what I saw, what I see, and they were on the front and center on the steps in when Al Sharpton was speaking. So the presence was known, but again, you don't want to show up with 3,500 and detract from the peaceful efforts of the other groups. That's what I think his reasoning probably was, and there was enough of them there to let everybody know they're there, and yet not so many as to detract from everything else that was going on. That wasn't them. That was the new Black Panther Party. Okay, I've heard that too, and I've also heard that they're one and the same. So again, I'm not on the inside. I don't know any of that. That's between y'all. I'm just what's the rule of engagement for everyone else if things go bad in Louisville? Demetrius, I'm glad you asked that, because that's one of the things I've been touching on each and every episode. The citizens' rules of engagement, and it's not just for Louisville. Now I'm telling you, if shit hits the fan in Louisville, then shit's going to kick off in Detroit, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, in Portland, Oregon, in St. Louis, in Indianapolis, who knows where. And so wherever you're at, even if you're not in Louisville, the shit's liable to kick off. And if it doesn't happen in Louisville, man, a doctor can take a temperature real easy, and somebody that that has studied society can take the temperature of this country fairly easy, and we're at a boiling point. It's not a matter of when it's going to kick off or if it's going to kick off. It's just, I mean, it's not a matter of if it's going to kick off. It's a matter of when it's going to kick off, where it's going to kick off, how bad it's going to be, and how far does it spread. So the rules of engagement to all citizens, no matter where you're at, and I read these to Chris, and Chris made one point that he said, this, you need to add this. Rules of engagement for citizens in case you find yourself in urban guerrilla warfare. If you hear anything that sounds like a gunfire near you, hit the ground. Don't run, you become a target. Once you've hit the ground, once you see or have an idea where the gunfire is coming from, seek cover. Seek cover inside, behind a big tree, or behind a car engine. And again, the bullets are about that long. I have no idea what that means. They're, I don't know, 4 to 5 inches long, and they have no trouble going through a car. The steel or aluminum in a engine block is so dense that it might save your life, positioning yourself in the right position when you're in the wrong situation. If you're surrounded by guns, you're at the mercy of those guns. Be careful where you place yourself and what's around you. Don't be alone. Be with at least one other person, if not in a group. Know where your car is and multiple ways to get back to it. Have a map. You know, we're so dependent on GPS as a society that many people don't know how to read a map. And man, if you're in a city, especially if you're in a city you're not familiar with, and you know exactly how to walk back to your car, and there's a fight in the streets, a gun fight in the streets, and you're not going to walk back that way. No other egress directions to get back to your vehicle. If you find yourself in urban guerrilla warfare, there is no law, there is little logic, and even less love. So stay away if you can, and if you can't, stay aware. With that being said, I thought I might go to Louisville on Saturday and live stream everything and try to give a different perspective than others were doing. I doubt if that's going to happen now, and if it doesn't, I'm cool with it. It's going to be historic no matter what happens. My personal hope is that it's peaceful, that it's that the NFAC and the white militia, whoever the white militias are, personally, I find it hard to imagine that some guy named the Angry Viking has organized a better militia in a couple of weeks than Grandmaster Jay has in the months he's been doing this. But I'm hoping that everybody stays apart. Keep yelling at each other on social media. Everybody stays apart. Stand down. Of course, that's my ultimate wish. Everybody stand down. Stay home. Home Depot's got a big sale. Stay home. Build a shoebox. But I hope they all stay apart and everybody goes home and they're yelling at each other again on social media Sunday and Monday. And I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you all. This is the first time I've done a live. And thank you all for showing up. Philly Strong, Jay, Fatha, Jerome, Estelle, Country Boy, K Money. Thank you all. And everybody I didn't mention, I just ran down the list right there. It's a dark world. It's getting darker. Try to be a light. And next couple of days, try to be a freaking beam if you can. And if you got angry, if you got anger in your heart, if you're an angry person, you're angry either because you're wrong or because you've been wronged. And we understand why the protesters are angry. We understand why the Black communities are angry. They have been wronged. They still don't have justice for Breonna Taylor. The shootings keep happening. I don't know if you are aware of it. I know you're aware of it. But that's why they're angry. They have been wronged. White people, why are you angry? Why are you angry? Is it just because of the pigment of somebody else's skin? I don't see any way in the world you can define that as Christian. And I'm going to leave it at that. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you all. If you're in whatever incarnation you personally have a relationship with the massive spiritual being that so that I don't ever use the name in vain, I simply call it God and his son Christ Jesus. I love you all. Until next time, it's the American Doofus Show. I'm Barry Welsh. Don't be a doofus. Stay alive.